from the time you wake up in the morning to you go to work or to school, to the time you go to bed. And I guarantee that at some point throughout that day, you use some form of plastic. That might be dishes, fabrics, water bottles, toys, or even more. The problem that we're having is that we have too much plastic that's ending up in landfills. We have to do a better job as a society of finding a way to recycle that plastic. What I've created for the town of Abilene is a very simple plan, and I know it's simple because it's something that I do every single day. In order to understand this problem, we first have to talk about how much plastic people are using, the amount of that plastic that is ending up in landfills, the large-scale solutions that are already implemented throughout society, and the simple solution that the town of Abilene can adopt. According to an article called Plastic Human Health and Environmental Impacts, The Road Ahead, published in 2014, there's 300 million tons of plastic produced each year. Now this is just around the globe, this isn't even in the United States. So while it might not seem like a ton, it is a large amount of plastic to be produced. 85% of that plastic is used for medical equipment. And they discard 425 million tons per year. So if you think about it, that's like the IVs and the syringes that people can only use once and then it's thrown out. 4.6% of our annual petroleum consumption is used through plastic. This means that the plastic that we're using is none of that energy is recovered once it's destroyed. So while 4.6% might not seem like a lot, it ends up being a ton. Kate O'Neill, an associate professor, wrote an article in 2018 for the website The Conversation. It's in this website that she talks about how plastic is broken down. A plastic bottle takes 500 to 600 years in general to break down. This means that the plastic that is just sitting in the landfills is there for an extremely long time. The plastic can also degrade into microplastic fragments, and those fragments last forever, so they never really truly break down. The only way to permanently get rid of plastic is to destroy it through incineration at extremely high temperatures. In O'Neill's article, she posted this chart. If you can see, the blue part means that it's recycled, the light blue means that it's combusted with energy recovery, and the gray means that it's in landfills. So this chart goes from 1960 to 2015. So if you look at it, you can see that the gray covers the majority of the chart. This means that the majority of our plastic is being put in landfills and essentially sitting there for, again, 500 to 600 years. In the article, Plastic Human Health and Environmental Impacts, The Road Ahead, they created another chart which is broken down in percentage. So if you see the blue, it means it's being put in a landfill, the red means it's incinerated, and then the green means that it's being recycled. So if you look at this chart, you see the majority of it is in blue. So 86% of that entire pie chart means that it's being recycled. That equates to 29.2 million tons, and it's just sitting in the landfill to just sit there and rot. As you can see, it's very unequal as far as the plastic that's being able to be reused and the plastic that's essentially just being thrown away. The website Compound Interest created this visual aid, in which it talks about how exactly plastic is being recycled. So you can see through the flow chart, you start with collecting the plastic in wastebands or public places, and then it's put on a truck and transported to a warehouse. It's at this warehouse that the plastic is either broken down or it's separated out to be used to create a new product. O'Neill provided several examples in her article of existing solutions to the world's plastic problem. It's in here that she talked about how they're working to upgrade facilities, so to create bigger facilities, to put more room for plastic, to create newer ones in order to be able to do more of the incineration of the plastic. They're also trying to increase the waste to energy ratio. So this means that instead of just letting it sit there and do nothing for our environment, they're trying to find ways to incinerate it so that it can be turned into energy that we can use for other things. There's also a lot of social movements, such as the plastic straw ban and the bag bans. While these are effective because they target humans and their desire to create a better environment, it's not a big portion of the plastic being used, so it's not really making a lasting big impact on the world's plastic use. So I just want to return to this chart and point out that before any recycling can be done, you have to start with the first step, which is actually collecting the plastic. So I proposed for the city of Abilene to require public buildings to have recycling bins throughout their buildings. This just means that it's a simple place for people to put their plastic and be be able to recycle it in a way that's effective and easy and good for the environment. Those bins, when they're full, will then be taken to the local recycling center, where the recycling center will have business, and they'll also be able to do a better job of actually recycling the plastic. The company Recycle Away is based in Brattleboro, Vermont, and it brings over 25 years of experience of creating recycling bins. This company supplies cost-effective, durable, and functional containers for cities, public companies, and family homes to use. They help with the planning, implementing, and tracking of recycling projects so that they're able to kind of help you step by step with what's effective as you're trying to get your process going. They also help with the needs and the budget, so they're able to help you with money-wise, figure out what's the best cost-effective way for you to start this program. We only get one Earth, so we have to find the best way to maintain it as possible. This means that we have to do a better job at recycling with the plastic that we use. Now, let's face it, plastic's not going away, so we have to find a way to make sure that we're helping the environment instead of hurting it. And this means that we have to do our part within our own communities. In order to do that, we have to provide recycling bins in public places. It's a very simple plan, but it'll allow for a lot of changes to occur. I encourage each of you to not only think about recycling in the grand scheme of your community, but also to find ways to recycle throughout your home, whether that means setting up bins or raising awareness. Just as much as you can create habits for positive changes